Look at you. Yeah.
And that mic is.
Yes, Miss Efficiency.
We're going to like quadruple check it. Yes and yes.
All right, and we are hitting record. And we will go ahead and get started. Questions in the room, raise your hand. Willie.
I ain't want to give it to Andy. He always go first.
Willie's stronger.
Why you dissing? I got one for each of you ladies. Asia, I'd like to start with you.
Yeah.
Going back to last night and then tonight, the speech, just your demeanor. And tonight, I'm watching you afterwards, sign the shirt, run up to the little girl,
Yeah.
the kids on the baseline. How much fun are you having?
Oh, man, I'm having tons of fun, honestly. I've been bored in the off season because I have nothing to do. So this is my excitement every single day. I get to come to work with a bunch of women that are just like-minded and just really good at what they do. And I love that. And if we can put smiles on young kids' faces and let them know that they could be us one day, it's a lot of fun. And it helps when we're winning. But even if we're not, I'm always going to try to have fun in this game.
And Alicia, from afar, watching her growth in this league, and really at such a rapid pace, right, in terms of like getting an MVP and then going to a finals and then winning a finals and now being her teammate. How fun has it been, like I said, from afar and then this season and just seeing her growth and really accepting the role of what she's become for this league?
Yeah, I mean, as an opponent, she was always a headache. So it's definitely nice, to be her teammate. But, for me, I've gotten the opportunity to play alongside a lot of really legendary Hall of Fame post players in my career. And I would put her right up there, just the way that she approaches the game, the way that she approaches every day, her fight, her competitiveness, that kind of stuff, you can't teach. And so match that with her skill set and her hunger, it makes coming to work easy. And it is fun, just their spirit, the way that they are. I'm a lot older than everyone, we're a little older, so they help keep you young, but just, they know when to have fun and they know when it's time to work. And that balance and that combination, it's really special because not everybody can master that.
Andy?
Alicia, I think you've hit double figures now in 2 of 4 games after not hitting double figures in the last 7 in Washington. I guess what about this offense?
Dang, Andy.
Has put,
Not the fact check.
I read it off Jiggy's game notes. But what about this offense has put you in a position to score?
Just the way it flows. Last year was a little bit different for me because I was coming back from an injury. So just trying to find my way. And I felt like as the season went along, I was starting to turn a corner a little bit. So this year I'm healthy and I think it starts there. And then too, just the confidence, like I said, the flow of the offense, the confidence from my teammates. I airballed one in the corner tonight and they were like, listen, shoot the next one. And when you have people that believe in you in that way, it makes it easy, honestly.
Definitely. And then Asia, Jackie, another great night from 3 for her. I mean, how often you shoot 4 of 8 from 3, and I think her percentages are going to go down. What does that kind of say about the steps she's taken from 3 again this season and how important it is for your guys' offense?
I think Jackie kind of took the way people played her last year personal, and you can tell that, and she's going to make you guard her now, and I love that for her because they do need to guard her, and it just gives us another just threat that we have on the court, and I'm very happy that it's going in because if it's not, Jackie's going to go insane. So, she works hard, so you see the results in game, and she definitely needs that.
Alicia, I want to ask you about your defense because out there you look like you've been playing with this team on that side of the ball for 2-3 years now. Not that you jumped in a month or 2 ago. You took a turn on Diamond Miller tonight. You took a turn on Nafisa Collier. Just what about you has allowed you to gel so easily on the defensive end? And you can play, anyone 1 through 4, Diamond's a little quicker, and Nafisa's just a bigger, guard/forward. What has allowed you to fit right in and look like you've been playing defense with this team for multiple years now?
I think for me personally, that's been the role I've kind of carved out for myself in this league, being a defensive leader, being a defensive presence. And so no matter what team I'm on, that's something that I'm always going to bring. And the way that I study my opponents, like I said, it doesn't matter what team I'm on because the opponent stays the same. And so, when you have players that are receptive, and, Becky made that an emphasis this year, like our defense. And so just being able to step in and be able to relay what I've seen and done and been a part of in this league over my career, and just being able to impart that on them. And they're receptive to it. And they're high IQ players. You know what I mean? So I can say, hey, don't let this player go this way, or hey, force her here. And they do it because everybody's a very intelligent basketball player on this team. So I'm happy that they were as receptive and welcoming of the defensive side of it, my defensive leadership, because that definitely makes it much easier.
Guys, we've only got time for a couple of more questions because I think, as you were told, they do have to flip the building over here for another event. So quickly.
No, what's happening?
Alicia,
Coming up in here.
Alicia, you kind of just talked about the reassurance that your teammates gave you on 3-point shooting, but as a team, the group shot 6 of 21 from 3 in the first half, and then 8 of 18 from 3 in the second. Were you guys still getting the same shots that you were in the first half, or did you guys do something different schematically?
No, we were getting the same shots. You know, they were all good shots. They were all good looks. And we know as the season goes, that's going to happen. Some nights they're going to fall. Some nights they're not. But being able to score in multiple ways is going to be crucial for us. And that's something that we do well. So if our three's not falling, we have people that can attack the paint, people that can get, and draw fouls and those types of things. So we don't live and die by the three, but we are definitely confident in taking it. And we just, like Age said, like everybody works really hard on the game in here. And so we know eventually, like, the tide is going to turn, and we're going to have better shooting nights. But as long as we're taking them confidently and when we're open, that's a great shot.
Question for Asia.
Thank you, Jesus.
Not that you're new to getting help when you get the ball, but it feels like early in the season there's been like a level of intention for teams not just to send help towards you, but to send help as you're going into your move. Is that a shift that you've noticed, or in general, how have you felt about the way the teams have guarded you this year?
Yeah, I definitely think they're more physical this year. They're trying to just, what do people say, poke the bear. I feel like they're trying to see how much can they foul to get away with it. And that's something that I've definitely just kind of, every game by game, I'm just trying to feel it out to see, okay, where's the first punch coming from? But I have been in this league for about 6 years, and I haven't seen single coverage since. So when it comes to double, I'm used to that. Now I'm just trying to make sure that I'm ready for the physicality to protect not only myself, but also my teammates.
All right, last question before we bring up Coach Hammond.
To either of you, most teams, when they're up 15, 20 points, sometimes they'll slow it down, use some clock, but it seems like you guys never take your foot off the gas. Does Becky ever tell you guys to slow it down and use clock, or is it just go all the time?
She told us today, obviously, because we were coming off of a back-to-back and we don't want to lose who we are as our identity. We can still play us. But most of the time, we really don't really listen to that. We were like, no, we're trying to speed this game up so we can go rest. But no, today, I think Becky does have her times where she's like, okay, let's reel it in. Let's get in the half-court set and go from there. But she kind of leaves it in our hands. And at this point, we're in a track meet right now. So hopefully we slow down a little bit.
Thanks a lot, ladies. We'll let you go get changed and bring up Coach Hammond. Coach, would you like to start with an opening statement?
No. Let's go right
Any
to the
questions?
firing line.
Becky, it seemed like midway through the second quarter and most of the second half, the Lynx threw a zone at you guys for a good amount of that time. And I think that was in large part why you had so many 3-point shots. Did you get looks you liked against the zone? Because I think it was the first time all season you guys had seen that. And how do you adjust your offense when teams throw different looks at you guys to try to slow down your high-powered offense?
I thought overall we actually handled the zone decently. I thought we got some good looks. When you look down and, you're 1 for 8, 1 for 9 or whatever, going down the line, there's some fatigue factor in there for sure to take into consideration. It's early in the season. This is actually not just a back-to-back for us. It's 3 and 4 nights. So you kind of expect it. And then we were playing like this a lot. So it wasn't just when you're missing, you're obviously sprinting back in transition defense a lot, and then they miss, and you're sprinting back down the other end to stay in attack mode. So I saw our girls gassed, but I kind of wanted them to push through it because we're not quite in the game shape that I want us in. And in basketball, the best way to get in game shape is to play the game. And so I'm kind of letting them work through a little bit of fatigue without, letting it get too far away from us. There's a couple times I was like, the normal 6 or 7 minutes was a hard 6 and 7 minutes tonight. It would not the normal, where you can catch a break here and there. But I thought they did steal a couple possessions from us with the zone, but overall I thought we did pretty well with it.
Becky, kind of speaking on that fatigue, what are kind of the signs to you that your players are starting to feel it, and what are kind of your goals for, player conditioning?
Well, one, I look at their face, and so I'm like, you don't see Alicia Clark gassed very often, and there was one stretch that, I left her in there too long. We're like Candace, I'm just always trying to gauge where she's at, especially on a back-to-back. Just trying to push that line of getting us in shape, but not overdo it. Because the last thing I want to do is, get somebody of fatigue. So I'm always keeping an eye on it. Plum tells me she never gets tired, but
season. Just what did you like about the way she controlled the offense tonight?
Well, I mean, like I said, jumping into some zone, going back to man to man. I mean, she does a wonderful job of reading what they're in, what the spots are that we need to get certain people into. So I think that's in large part just to her IQ. They go zone. She got us into a zone offense. They were in man, and they switched it up frequently. So I just thought that was just her in, I would say, analyzation mode, which is interesting because it's different than Kelsey, who I would say gets in probing mode a lot off the dribble. There's an analyzer, and then, KP probes, seeing where the defense is and because she gets downhill quick. Where Chelsea does a lot of her damage at the top of the key, picking you apart. So it's kind of nice to have the two options.
Hi, Coach. Between the two Sparks games and now this Lynx game you faced, it's basically been 3 straight games of facing teams that like to put 2 on the ball in the half court in some variety. How have you felt about the process of your offense against those looks?
Well, the other night I thought the 2 games in LA and then here, I thought they were very committed to taking away Chelsea and Kelsey. And we know Coach Miller did that in Connecticut. He started blitzing and bringing big traps. And then tonight you start seeing Jackie getting some of it. So my message to them is just, you don't like getting double teamed. You got to burn the double team. And we burn the double team. You get rid of it quickly, and we're learning that. And I thought we got some really nice stuff the last couple of games out of when they brought 2. Make or miss, I'm more about the quality of shot we're getting after it, the decision making after we get it out of the blitz. But, everybody's got to play the right way. And I think one thing that teams are willing to gamble on us is our selfishness. Okay, we're going to bring 2. Let's see if they're going to get rid of it. And by and by, I think everybody's been getting rid of it, and we're making them pay in other ways. So you put 2 on the ball, it's a little bit of pick your poison. But who's ever been handling, whether that's been Plum, Chelsea, Jackie, the ball is getting out quick, and we're playing downhill now against numbers.
And that was actually kind of leading into my next question. You said last season that this group hits another level when KP expands her willingness to pass. I think Minnesota cut the lead down to 8 on 2 separate occasions in the third quarter. She actually assisted on those back-to-back threes by Jackie. Kind of how did that manifest itself tonight?
Well, we talk a lot about Chelsea and her how she reads pick and rolls and doing this. But KP is a huge part of our offense, not only because of her shooting, but her ability to get downhill. Jackie's someone who gets downhill a little bit more to score. KP gets downhill and is making decisions on the fly. Do I have an angle to the rim, or am I kicking out? And I think if you go back and look at her progression, we call them rim reads. Her progression on rim reads, she's pretty off the charts right now. She gets downhill and she's finding people that are just, you got to load up. Like I said, you're going to pick your poison, but I'm not comfortable. I would not be comfortable leaving any of our shooters out there on a night in and night out basis. I think I think we got pretty good shooters, especially when they're open.
And Becky, you referred to the 3 games in 4 nights. Obviously, last night, first home game of the season, a lot of emotion with the ring ceremony. What does this say about your team here early on? It's early on in the season that you can come out, on a back-to-back situation and get a win like this, even with both Candace and Kelsey not having great games. What do you think this says about your team early on in the season?
Well, it kind of tells me that we have a silly team, but a mature and competitive team. They know how to have a good time, but they also know how to buckle in and play when the lights go out or come on. Sorry. Hopefully we turn the lights off soon, as I need it. But no, they handle. Success. A lot of times is easier or harder to handle than failure. So when you've had a lot of success, we have a big night last night, I'm thinking, okay, this is a classic, letdown game. But honestly, I was asked it earlier today. This team has not given me any reasons to think that they will not show up on any given night. No matter the circumstances, they come to compete, they come to play, and they play hard.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We'll let you go. The Aces are headed out on a 4-game road trip, Atlanta, Indiana, and 2 games in Connecticut.